I sat in the corner of my bedroom perplexed. I didn't know what was happening, and my 5-year-old brain couldn't wrap my mind around it. There were 6 of us kids hanging out in my room. Our parents were having a party, and we were to stay put. There were 5 boys and 1 girl, and I was the youngest. The other kids were all under 13, but the oldest boy and the girl were the same age. As I was trying to engage with the older kids, they decided to turn the lights out. The street lights glow, and the strip of light under my bedroom door were the only sources of light now. The oldest boy and the girl got under the blankets on my bed, and the rest of us watched the shapes heave up and down, noises being made that made me chuckle. While I didn't know what had happened for years, I had just watched 2 preteens have sex in my tiny 5-year-old bed. It wasn't until I learned about sex that I realized I had already been exposed to it. That little light bulb above my head must have shone so brightly. I feel like a missing piece of my memories had finally been unlocked. While this click may have excited a lot of boys, it terrified me to death. I had already begun puberty and was a towering 5'9" before I turned 10. I already had an abundance of body hair and had discovered masturbation. But sitting there, listening about how puberty would make me see girls differently did not resonate with what I was going through. While my hormones were raging, they were never raging for girls. At home, I would sneak away to the bathroom and place my feet squarely against the wall across from the toilet and jerk off profusely to images of JTT, Devon Sawa, and Andrew Keegan and Tiger Beat magazines I'd ask my mom to buy for me. I was always a modest kid and thought I was being sly about it. It wasn't until one day my mom woke me up with a bottle of all-purpose cleaner and a sponge and told me to scrub my sneaker prints off the wall that I realized I had been exposed. My mother was a very sex-positive person. The moment she realized I had reached the level of puberty where I was pounding my pud, she decided to interject her sex ed pointers. Already being a modest kid who didn't understand why I wasn't attracted to girls, my mom's goal backfired. Her pointers were great and full of reminders about consent, but all it did was make me retreat away from anything remotely sexual. Once I hit 7th grade, I was just over 6 feet tall. I had a man's body for sure. As I began to experiment sexually with guys my age, it became quickly apparent that they were not as developed as for me yet. I realized that I was what I like to call annually androgynous. At 12, I could easily pass for 18. My mom would even take my birth certificate and school ID with us places where kids 12 and under got a discount. I finally discovered why the idea of having sex with a girl repulsed me. I had heard the word gay before, but never as a descriptor. Once I had the word and the definition, I felt a huge sense of relief. This was a normal enough thing that there was a word for it. No matter what anyone thought, I had a definition, and it made me feel purposeful. I was going to live openly, immediately. Coming out in the day and age of the chat room hookup was intense. The first time I was with another guy entirely, he was 18 and thought I was also 18. I was 13. We had a great run until I confessed the truth to him and he rightfully broke it off. That didn't stop me from continuing my exploration. I regret lying to these men, and I'm lucky I never got hurt. Because of the deceit in the beginning, it became easy to lie to me about it. In the years since I've dealt with sexual trauma, sexual shame, sex work, sexless spells, and sexual euphoria, there will be more essays about those in other essays, but the journey to the last one, sexual euphoria, was the hardest to maintain and contain. So much of my sexual journey is full of doubt and abuse. The idea that sex could be simple was one of the newest concepts to me. I had to get out of the longest relationship I had ever been in to realize my sexual exploits had always been about everyone else getting pleasure. About me feeling like I had to run through goals to completely satisfy my partner. I had been selfish in my deceptions, but never with my body. It was time for my sexual awakening to begin, and for me to take control. And that's exactly what I did. That is, until this damn pandemic popped in and ruined my opportunity to enjoy my dirty 30s. I got on PrEP, got all of the safety materials I needed. I had a plan to get tested every 3 months, and for once, I was going to be the slut everyone thought I was. That plan is on the back burner now, but it's still boiling. I just won't risk exposing myself or Katie just to get laid. I'd like to be sexually selfish and not sexually careless. I encourage anyone who has doubts about their sexual prowess, get over yourself. Every single being on the planet is sexy to someone. It took decades for me, but all it takes is a dash of confidence to change your sex life completely. Just be safe, trust your sexual partners, and remember that consent is the sexiest word ever invested. Now, I hope you all happily fuck off.